Contact! Oh, wait. I was gonna grab my joint. Yeah. Grab that. Wanna go out there? Come out here with him. You gotta go potty, D. Finally a potty, huh? Just finally. Jeez Louise, D. Ooh!
Okay.
Yeah. He just comes flying up these stairs. Flying up these stairs. Oh. Okay. That's enough. Howdy, howdy. Guten Morgen. Guten Morgen. Well, yeah. Thought I'd stream, get the voice awake for onion nuggets tonight. Too down to chat. We'll be lurking. I'm sorry, dude. Just hang out. Should Nazi memorabilia be allowed to be traded? Why not? Sure. It's historical items and stuff. Are you a child of God? No, I'm a child of banning people who proselytize in YouTube comments because it's one of the saddest things. I'm a member of the church of banning people who proselytize their religion in YouTube comment sections. I'm actually the deacon of that church, okay? So you might want to chill the fuck out. What's my name? My name is Paul. Why does America get involved with foreign wars when there are big problems within America? Because one of the big problems in America is how do we make a bunch of money for the defense industry and contractors and stuff? It turns out foreign wars are great revenue generators. Man. The dum-dums be thick today. Is it snowing over here? Does it look like it's snowing over here? I am sitting outside. I imagine one could see snow if it were happening. Paul, you killed me with the latest episode. I have the truck and the mower. So you've got like a big Super Duty truck that's never been off-road and a big loud push mower. Congrats. Congrats, dude. That's the douchebag fucking double right there. It's okay, though. Well, I use the truck. It's not untouched. Okay, you use it. For what? What do you do? What are you doing with a super duty? Because if you're not like pulling farm equipment or, you know what I mean, hauling things or working on a ranch or something, you tow a camper with it? Dude, you don't need a super duty truck to tow a camper. Unless you've got like a really big camper. The very first human beings that existed believe in gods. Well, I don't know, probably in some form, because I would imagine that like proto-religiosity existed in pre-human animals. I mean, it's not like there was a whole shade of difference between us and our closest cousins, so I would say that it's pretty innate. Technically, the very first humans probably had something that we would recognize as religious beliefs. If not like religious practice. Who knows? Oh yeah. You can like whack yourself out staring at flames. Definitely like a focal point for meditation and stuff like that. Probably a pretty old religious practice. Staring into the fire. I really like the religious practice that's posited in Cave of Forgotten Dreams, where you crawl into this cave complex, and in the back there's this like ritual room, you know, and it's all torchlit. You got a guy in there dressed as a bear. It's like animism and stuff. Lost hours tripping to fires and rivers. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't consider that losing any time. That's a good way to spend your time. Trip on the river. Take it from a master mechanic. Rolling coal is the dumbest thing ever. Basically showing off how bad your truck is tuned. The black smoke is the truck dumping way too much fuel. Oh, yeah, I don't own a truck, and I don't roll coal, and I don't hang out with people that do, but thanks for the tip.
I think someone mentioned that like you have to like actually fuck with the like controls on newer trucks. They don't even do that unless you like turn off safety settings.
Rolling coal. So fucking lame. But it does make me happy that a lot of people probably blow their engines doing it, so.
Yeah, they're like breaking them basically.
Yeah, so that's good. That's good because it, you know, costs 8 or 10, 15 grand to put a new engine in, so. How do you feel about the rolling back of corporate DEI? I personally saw it only as a band-aid to equality of opportunity. Corporate DEI. Dude, I gotta be honest with you, man. The term DEI is so broadly over-applied that I don't even know what you're talking about when you say corporate DEI. Are you talking about like diversity hiring? Diversity, equity, inclusion, right? I really honestly don't know. I don't know what corporations are doing to push that forward or roll it back. I'm just not aware of what's going on with it. All I do know is that corporations don't have moral stances on things. If I've said it before and I'll say it again, if it became super duper meme worthy and popular to call people you disagree with a faggot again, and it was just ubiquitous, Pepsi would be making a faggot commercial. Coke would be, all of these rainbow flag flying fucking corporations would line up to shit on whatever minority they needed to shit on. Like there's no sense of morality or righteousness behind any of the decisions they make in commercials and advertising. Okay, you just need to get over that. Yeah, you just need to get over that idea. Let's see, what are we saying here? It is so hard for me to. Oops, no, do not add any new moderators. It. You can't really do the finer details with the glove on. I think he means broader idea of corporating using diversity as a virtue, and it's not anymore as a point they use. Is basically what makes. Yeah, well, that's basically what I said. I said if it made money for corporations to single out a group and make fun of them, it's been that. Like back in the 80s and 90s, the gay guy or lesbian chick was a punchline, and tons of advertising, in jokes on TV, jokes on the news, just the butt of every kind of fucking joke. So this dude's been building. Looks like he's got like a really pretty addition to his house going up. Order 66 comments. I like power tools too. I'd love, eventually, when I have a place to live, to get myself a little circular saw or a little table saw, because they're so useful in just like cutting up debris and cutting up garbage. I'd rather probably have a table saw than a circular saw, but a circular saw would work in the meantime. Are you scared that the forest around you could catch fire? I mean, it's a possibility. We live in an area that's super duper humid and super rainy. That doesn't mean that there won't be a fire. That just means that the fire risk here is less than it would be in a place with tons and tons of dry brush everywhere. Battery powered saws have changed your life, yeah. I'll have to pick my dad's brain about it, maybe my stepdad's brain, because I've got a pile of stuff over there. I was thinking about getting just a little hand axe, because it's not like super thick stuff, but there's a lot of like long stuff that I'd like to cut up into smaller, more manageable pieces. And a little fucking electric circular saw would make that super simple. It'd make simple work of that. Yeah, redwood trees and the California redwoods or whatever it is, the Pacific redwood is the largest animal on Earth. Well, the largest single living organism on Earth. And they are the largest trees on Earth. By a pretty wide margin, too. If you've never seen a California redwood, the first time you see a really old one that's got a couple thousand years or more on it, you start to understand the scope of them. I mean, they're just immense. Hey. Do you know if General Sherman is still standing? Sequoia, yes, the General Sherman tree is still standing. I don't know if it is still the largest. It might be. But yes, they managed to save the General Sherman tree. I know a lot of that area burned, but I don't think it burned the General Sherman tree. How am I today? I'm okay. I feel all right. Amelia has been sick. She caught the flu bug the last couple of days, so I've been trying my best to help her out and take care of her. And yeah, still working on shit. I think I figured out some network problems on my computer, which is nice. It turns out, and this is just something that, like, I don't know why computers are this way, but the fact that there isn't a centralized way to keep your drivers up to date, like, there's all these programs you can buy that'll scan your shit and find the drivers. Like, the fact that that just isn't part of Windows' natural update process is just wild to me. So what was happening is I was back in California. I was on an older Wi-Fi station, probably 2 or 3 years old, and it was Wi-Fi 6, and now they have Wi-Fi 7. The one that I have here is Wi-Fi 7 or whatever the fuck. And my Wi-Fi receiver on my PC needed an update. Like, my network card needed an update. Needed a driver update because it was freaking out at the Wi-Fi 7 shit. And it's just like, for me, it was a pretty easy thing to track down the problem and fix it because it was causing all kinds of shit. I got a couple, like, blue screens off of it because the network would just seize up. It just, like, seems like something that should be automatic. I don't know if John McAfee's money made him nuts. I think John McAfee might have just been nuts to begin with. All right, I'm gonna take you guys inside. So I've had enough of the cold today. It's supposed to even get colder this week. And the dude's gonna be sawhorsing over there. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee-dee. Down into the basement go we. There but for the grace of God go I. Oh man, did I fucking... Paul's eager. Paul's eager. Am I smart enough to put that in my pocket? No, of course I'm not. All right, well, you guys wait here. Ugh. coffee. Oh. Hoo-wee. What happened to all the TV weight loss products? Yeah, dude. Like the Thigh Master. I bet my mom's got a Thigh Master tucked away. She had one of them. She had one of them Thigh Masters. No, I don't think Andrew Yang was a legitimate anything candidate, let alone labor. I think Andrew Yang was trying to boost his own profile. I think that's what Andrew Yang was about. Yeah, shake weights, Thigh Masters. There's all kinds of weird shit, man. And the living is easy. What, do I look like your grandma, just without the face hair? Because your grandma's an ugly, nasty bitch. Do you think there are actual benefits of cold plunging or making your body really cold, etc.? Probably, yeah, maybe. I don't. Who knows, dude? I don't know. You know, I'm not a medical doctor. I can't tell you. I can't tell you shit like that. I love saying I don't know. It's my favorite phrase. I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. What are you thinking about? I don't know. What do you want to eat? I don't know. You know, what do you think about fucking cold plunges? I don't know. I don't know. Paul, you need that brown fat. I don't know. Don't lie. You be thinking of dinner, dude. I'm one of the least enthusiastic people when it comes time to eat, bro. Like when it's time for food, I have such hang-ups with picking something. I just prefer I prefer not to. What am I smoking? What do you think I'm smoking, Paul? Was Sun Tzu a real person? Many people's war wisdom. I don't know. I don't know, dude. I don't know if Sun Tzu was real or based on a real person or if it was just like a collection of military best practices from ancient China. I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you. You can't say you don't eat a lot. I didn't say I didn't eat a lot. I said when it comes time to eat, I never want to choose what I eat. Ever got to point out the obvious? What do you think? Did you think I was going to make an excuse like I'm fat because of my glands? Dude, you people that like, did you do these body type policing, like look policing people are some of the weirdest fucks on the internet, bro. You just travel around and talk to people about what they look like, what their physical attributes are. You're some of the weirdest fucks on the internet, bro. Congrats. That's one of the weirdest fucking like common things that happens on the internet is you will see, and it'll be like fistfuls of people too, that all they want to talk about is how that person looks. Can never see them. Can never hold up the dark mirror. You know what I mean? It's everybody's favorite shit. And I think the fuglies are the ones doing it too. I think it's the only place on the planet where they can get away with saying shit about how other people look, how fat other people are, how other people dress, right? And have it make any fucking sense, because I think they're fugly as fuck, bro. It's unsightly and slightly offensive. Then scroll on, bitch. I got you like fucking handcuffed to the content or something? Dude, my jiggly man tits make you fucking uncomfortable. Scroll the fuck on, bitch. Ain't nobody got you tied up in the basement of this content. You free to go. So fucking silly, dude. Look at you. Yeah, look at me. Look at me, baby. Don't look at me. Yeah. Yeah, I know how it works. I know how it works. We all feel the same revolts stemming from similar sources. Do we? Some things that like for example, like there are people that like if they see another person throw up, they themselves will throw up. So that is somebody that's revolted by the act of vomiting. And then there are people that just find it unpleasant. You know what I mean? It's not something that you go seek out, right? But it's unpleasant, but not terrifying or horrible. And then there are people that are into that shit. They think it's hot, right? So I think that proves alone that people are not revolted by the same things. So your personal hang up with how I look, notwithstanding, you really got an OnlyFans. Bro, does the button that you hit when you start a stream on YouTube that says, is this for viewers over the age of 18 or under the age of 18? And you put over the age of 18, is it really just a worthless button? Some of you motherfuckers have got to be 10. It's unbelievable. Yes, worthless. Well, I'm gonna have to start fucking hardening things up around here because it's been bad for a few streams in a row. So I think there's gonna be some new rules. I think the monkey button's gonna be used. In fact, let's just do that now. I'm gonna just do that now real quick. I'm gonna turn on the monkey button. Participant, and this is so simple. But the monkey button, it saves so much time and effort. So now the monkey button is on. So now you have to sit crisscross applesauce with your hands folded before you talk. So that disables 90% of the bullshit. Because it disables people that are just scrolling around and going... Yeah. It's been a while since I had to hit it. But monkey button time. Yeah, monkey button equals semi-coherent chat. Yeah. It definitely lowers the amount of drive-by retardism. Which is constant, by the way. What are atoms and where did they do? Once again, you hit me with all the fucking Paul's ego ain't got no fucking expertise questions. I don't know. I don't know where atoms come from, bro. I know that atoms from my schooling. I remember that atoms are the building blocks of matter. Right? How is Jim Jones an inspiration to you? Um, his ability to make arguments passionately and coherently, it was almost unmatched, right? Some barn burner type of speeches came out of that man, and a lot of it was about social justice and social equity, right? I liked the way he fucking worked a crowd, man. I like Jim Jones for that. I don't like Jim Jones for manipulating people into doing things they otherwise wouldn't do, using that incredible charismatic pull that he had. What are your thoughts on Osho? The problem with people is not society. The problem is that the people are retarded. Jesus. God. Fucking X, please. Twitter, no. Woman cooks a raccoon and then it's just her fucking salting up the corpse. It's like, man, why is that show? Why are you showing me that? Don't show me that shit. I want to see a woman fucking greasing up a raccoon. Is Arizona Bay finally happening? Oh, maybe. I don't know. Is it? How do you feel about Jim Jones' habit for manipulation? Do you think it was entirely malevolent? Do you think manipulative actions like his have ever have a justification? Yeah, that's a tough question, right? Because I have to be honest with you, like a lot of what Jim Jones was building, um, and a lot of the arguments that he made for like a cradle to grave social welfare state. He was setting up his own. He set up his own commune with a cradle to grave kind of mentality. People work the land and yada yada yada. And while it may not have been perfect, I think his dark charisma worked well in that instance, right? In convincing people to walk away from their way of life and seek something else, right? I think that that's pretty fucking admirable. And maybe an admirable use of that kind of dark charisma, that manipulative charisma, right? But Jim Jones was a sociopath and a psychopath, probably. And that dark charisma was a tool ultimately to gratify himself and to use other people as a weapon against the people he saw as persecuting him, right? Definitely a narcissist for sure, but like the dark triad or whatever, right? Isn't that what they call that? Narcissism, psychopathy, sociopathy, right? I had a community college professor whose mom was pregnant with him while Jim Jones cult, and she left before it went to Jonestown because she said they were getting too crazy. Smart move. Smart lady. Yeah, good choice. I feel like that was probably the correct choice, right? Oh yeah, I mean, Jonestown is like one of the most horrifying things ever because it's just so inscrutable. Because it really, I think, woke people up to the power. Because a lot of the people that went to Jonestown, you would think like, oh, these are just like unrelatable religious nut jobs, right? And they were just average people that were looking for a better way, right? And what Jonestown, I think, awakened the world to, or at least the modern world to, the power of manipulation and how deeply you can separate somebody from observable, provable, testable reality and have them spun out into a fucking world where you will feed your child poison. You know what I mean? Like, it was hard. It still is. It's still something that people talk about and puzzle over, right? How could so many people who, if you were to have a conversation with them, you would think, oh, that's a really average person. You know what I mean? Like, if you saw them walking down the street, it's not like you're going to see them and go, whoa. I mean, this is me and you out there at Jonestown, right? That's what a lot of people can't come to grips with. They go like, oh, something about all of those people in toto must have been broken. And that thing is not broken in me. But the truth of Jonestown is that you are susceptible, like anybody else, to manipulation, to lies, to obfuscation, and maybe even, given the right amount and the right type of manipulation, doing things that you can't even imagine doing, right? When the senator and the media came to look at the compound and people begged to be rescued, that was the last straw for Jim to nuke it. Well, they didn't really beg to be rescued at first. That's the thing, is like, it was such, they were under such strict and tight control, and there were true believers among the people as well. There was just kind of a sense of exuberance and wanting to show that Jonestown was like a little paradise on earth. And there were a few people amongst those at Jonestown that made surreptitious efforts to contact the media and the senator to try and get to book passage for them away from Jonestown. And that's what tipped off the senator to the fact that this wasn't just some kind of happy hippie commune. This was something sinister And that's what led to the murder of the senator and most of his retinue by armed Jonestown thugs, and then ultimately the suicide, the mass suicide, right? What made you a leftist? Probably just my upbringing. I mean, I was raised in a union household by unionists, blue collar people. I don't know if it's true anymore, but the political left in America used to be, um, the working people's party. I don't know if that's true anymore, but it used to be true. Scary and humbling that all it takes one charismatic person to get otherwise rational people to commit acts like that. It could happen at any time. Well, I mean, I think it is notable that Christianity was used as a huge lure. It's one of the reasons why I think that mass modern religiosity can be very dangerous. Because I think that it is a super socially acceptable, if you really take it for what it is. Church is a super socially acceptable way to believe in crazy fucking shit and to talk openly about crazy shit like it's real. And you can't ignore that component when you talk about Jonestown. There would have been no Jonestown, and I believe this. There would have been no Jonestown if there was no People's Church, People's Temple, right? Just wouldn't have happened. And so it's religiosity that really is needs to be examined, in my opinion, more so than the ability of one charismatic person to manipulate people. Because as manipulative as he might have been, Jim Jones needed a key. He needed a back door into people's minds. And religion was that back door. And it's a massively socially acceptable way for people to believe in bullshit. Sometimes demonstrably false and harmful bullshit. Star Trek wasn't a utopia. Star Trek was a hyper-conformist nightmare. If you weren't one of the few people that got to do an active role on a ship, you lived a life of constant, fear, uncertainty, forced conformity, right? Just, everybody has to dress alike. Everybody has to talk alike. Everybody has to do their hair alike. Everybody has to fucking believe in the same shit all the time. There's no dissent. There's no chaos. There's no nothing. And when there is, it hits the fucking poor people the hardest. Like, who dies when 10 photon torpedoes rip their way into the hull and blow up a nacelle or whatever, right? A bunch of fucking mechanics, a bunch of people in the living quarters, a bunch of kids, That's the thing, dude. I don't believe that, Star Trek portrays any kind of utopia. I think people look at it as a utopia because certain human needs have been fundamentally addressed. That's not a utopia to me. You know what I mean? In fact, I don't even know if I have an idea in my head for what a utopian place would even look like. I don't know that I believe it exists, right? I mean, it's wild, right? Think about it. Like, there's like what, like, I don't know. I don't know the numbers, but there's tens of thousands, maybe 100,000 or more people on these ships. When you see the ship like floating through space with big holes in the hull, dude, it ain't the captain's quarters that got blowed up. You know what I mean? It's the fucking that hole is where like 10,000 people used to be. So fuck that. No, dude. Star Trek ain't no utopia, bro. Star Trek is a conformist dystopia. Always has been. Yeah. The Enterprise is a civilian vessel, but they're out there blowing up ships left and right. It's fucking crazy. Bombing on planets, beaming into people's shit, shooting them in the face. It's like, what is going on? It's like the fucking Wild West. I don't believe utopias are possible because too many interests are on the line. I think every person's needs should be met, and that's what will make them have the best life. Well, that's the platform, but that doesn't ensure that they have the best life. Making sure everybody's needs are met is step one, but that doesn't make a utopia. Meeting everybody's needs is step one. Step two is all psychology. How do you take a species that's known for its disparate beliefs and disparate ways of looking at the world and its, you know, struggle with its own kind of consciousness? How do you take a species like that and fundamentally appease everybody? Right? You can't. You can't. Meet everybody's needs, and new needs will arise that are unmet. I'm all for meeting people's needs, by the way. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying. Like, don't think that that's the end of it. That's the beginning of it. Yeah, maybe I'll banter with the guys today. Because I think I had this conversation with TJ when I first met him about, you know, Star Trek being a horrifying dystopia. It'd be interesting to see if he still thinks the same. I think he disagreed at the time, maybe a little, but he thought it was an amusing take. Ooh, man, it is fucking cold. It is fucking cold. The Matrix asked this question with how people couldn't accept the simulation of perfect society. Okay. So cold. Yeah, it's gonna be really cold this week. Might even freeze or snow. It might snow and freeze. Oh God. What is the easiest mental illness to live with? Dude, I don't fucking know, man. I can barely speak to my own mental illness, let alone other people's and how they deal with it. There's probably some sort of answer to that question, but I couldn't speculate. You know, in my experience and the experience, my observational experience from people I've known that are mentally ill or struggle with it, it's tough for everybody, I think. Whoa. I think maybe autism compared to how much on the spectrum you are. I don't think anything about it is easy. I don't know. I think you'd have to have like such a broad experience that is just impossible for a human being to really have to even make a call on that. Why are kids in public school sometimes so damn cruel and bleach? That just like, that's kids. Like, it shows you that kids are on a developmental journey and arrested development is real, right? So kids, like oftentimes they go through part of the child development process is the development of empathy, right? The kind of do unto others as you would have others do unto you type of mentality that makes human society work and makes human interactions and relationships work. And so kids will figure those things out amongst themselves and transgress against what they know are social norms, or sometimes mirror the type of abuse that they're getting at home. And all of that is very part and parcel with learning how to deal with other people. The chaos of public school is actually a really good, like prep for what comes later in life, which is you're going to meet people that have all kinds of different problems and have all kinds of different attitudes and ways of socializing, and you're going to have to fucking move through that in society, right? You learn that in school. Part of that is bullies, assholes, scumbags, snakes, you know what I mean? Like, I hate to say it, but that's probably what you're going to run into in the world too. Crazy people. Not all, but you're going to have to know how to navigate that shit and spot that shit, right? Seems to me. Oh, weed, please. Ooh. Okay, I got stoned. I'm stoned. It happened. We've reached stoned. Hallelujah. Past the peas. You know what? I'm going to try something out. I'll see you guys later.